All right, friends. By request, somebody asked me in the comments section, can you do a video on Mike Israetel, Renaissance Periodization? Bad news. 52 sets is best for building muscle. Oh, brother, here we go again, man. Sets are going to build a muscle. I told you before, if anybody tells you that you are building muscle in a gym, it's artificial. You understand me? Because if you damage muscles, they can only be built outside the gym. That's it. Any type of damage that is caused in a gym, whether it's hypoxia, oxidative, micro injuries, or this, how should I put it, fiber splitting, it can only be built outside the gym. Now, in the gym, you can build phony, fake muscles called sarcoplasmic muscles, glycogen loading, this pump that you get. I'm getting the pump. Or inflammatory response, inflammation muscles, or some lactic acid in there, okay? So yeah, now let's review this video.
52 sets per week for the whole body? No. Folks, I'm Dr. Mike. I had to lean forward to say that to make sure that you understood how serious I was about alleging what my name was. Who the hell are you? Where am I? Don't worry about that now. Just answer some questions and you'll get your...
I'll go through this really quick. It's just like building real muscle. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown in order for real muscle to grow. You understand me? So when you come into the gym, you want to eat a hell of a lot of protein before you work out and a hell of a lot of protein after you work out. See what I mean? All right. Now, it's the same with building muscle in a gym. Now, building muscle in a gym, you want to eat glycogen, a lot of glycogen before you come to the gym, preferably complex carbohydrates like potatoes. You eat shitloads of potatoes, you come into the gym, you lift the weights, you get a huge pump, and when you leave the gym, you want to keep restoring that glycogen. That's it. So that you can grow some sarcoplasmic artificial muscle growth. Yes. And you look bigger than the last time, a lot faster than protein synthesis exceeds this breakdown. That's a lot more difficult. You understand me? So yeah.
All back and reunited with your family. Stay calm. Tell us your name.
My name is Milo Wolf, soon to be Dr. Milo Wolf.
Soon to be? How soon?
Well, I'm defending in 3 weeks, so...
Congratulations in advance. I know that's a faux pas to say.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can say that.
3 weeks later you DM me, you're like, I didn't.
I failed.
Yeah.
They kicked me out.
So you are getting your PhD very shortly. By the time this video...
Yeah, hold on. Look, you can't build proteins in a gym. You can't build muscle in a gym, like real muscle, because there's an open window for protein breakdown as well. There is an open window for protein synthesis, but there's a window for breakdown. If there's a breakdown, that means you're breaking down protein. So you need to go home and do what? Build muscle by doing what? Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. But glycogen, that's totally different. When you're in the gym, what happens is for every 3 grams of glycogen, 1 gram of water is absorbed into the muscle. Yeah. Or is it 3 grams? I can't remember now, man. Something like that. So yeah, you're drawing this water between the skin and the muscle into the muscle when you're eating. When you have a lot of glycogen stores in your body, they'll be stored in your muscle. They'll be able to draw in there. You'll be able to draw this fluid into the muscle. Yeah, that's how you're building muscle in a gym. It isn't protein because protein is already being broken down. It's an open window there for it. You have to leave the gym to build muscle because you're looking for a window of protein synthesis, 24 to 36 hours.
Will be released. Yeah. Certainly you will have...
I'm just talking about the mass. I'm not talking about a repair and a remodeling. That type of muscle building. That's totally different training. Look, all training to build specific muscle that you're looking for, all training, when it comes to hypertrophy, I had this in my community section. It says there are all kinds of hypertrophies. You have to choose which one you want to build. But the problem is everybody thinks they're all the same.
PhD in
the Sports science.
Sports science. Don't act like you don't know the answer to that question. It has to be
didn't know
from
how
you.
specific you want me
I
to
see.
be.
I see. You're like, I don't know. What? Maybe sports science? I don't know. I never looked into it. Okay. And you are a super expert in the science of range of motion. And we've got many interviews with you already recorded now on the channel about that, especially in the member section if y'all motherfuckers is curious. Deep science member section. But you have recently done a pretty in-depth perusal of the volume literature. It's kind of a demon coming back to haunt me from the past. I've been a volume science enjoyer for some time, and recently some studies have been coming out. And they're saying something very interesting, and hopefully if Scott the Video Guy did what we were planning to do, the thumbnail for this video that you clicked is some absurd claim of doing some absurd number of sets is going to get you jacked. And if you're not doing it, you're a loser. That part is clickbait, though you may in fact be a loser for reasons that we can't account for.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It just be like that sometimes. And tell us what's going on with training volume. Maybe, Milo, if you can start, tell us what the story was for what we thought something like maximum recoverable volume used to look like a few years ago before the Barbalo studies, etc.
Start.
The what? Recoverable volume?
Yes. So, about 5 years ago, our best thinking, based on the study we had, was that around 10 to 20 sets was the best place to maximize hypertrophy.
Yeah.
We had pretty consistent evidence, as summarized in a meta-analysis by Brad Schoenfeld.
So let me get this straight. So 12 sets gives you hypertrophy. Ooh, man, I don't understand this. Like, this is so confusing, man. Lifting in a gym opens a window for protein synthesis, but it also opens a window for glycogen loading as well. You understand me? Glycogen synthesis. Yeah, there's a window for glycogen synthesis. If you're eating a herbivore diet, which all of you are, you're eating an unnatural diet. See what I mean? It's unnatural. You're not supposed to be eating that. You're supposed to be eating a carnivore diet, but people, they eat potatoes, they eat fucking vegetables and leafy greens and weird shit. Yeah. Because we were trained that way to eat that stuff. We were marketed this food telling us that you could eat it when in fact you can put anything in your mouth, but it's not healthy for you. Let's just put it that way.
But doing more than 10 sets was better for muscle growth than doing fewer than 10 sets per week per muscle.
Yes, and from what I remember, they didn't have...
That's interesting, doing fewer... Man, I don't know how set's gonna build a muscle, bro. Other than phony muscles, but like I said, it's unnatural for people to really be eating these foods. But can you imagine carrying all that glycogen in your muscle? It's gotta be, I've done it. It's extremely unhealthy. I have to tell you, the feeling is lethargic. It's really, really, really bad. And it's bad on your prostate if you're a male. It's bad on your insulin. It's bad on your sex drive. It's bad all around. Like, I mean, really, really bad. I would rather sacrifice some of that bulkiness for being lean and mean. You understand? I think these young people have something going on for them today because they're more into an aesthetic look. They still have muscle. They have some muscle, but they're more to an aesthetic look. So they're more in that range of, well, I got some muscle and I want to look really lean and jacked. That's the whole point, right? But they would sacrifice being super jacked by having this fake muscle, because muscle is really hard to build, like I've said, man. To get over that myonuclear domain limit, it has a ceiling limit. To get over that ceiling limit is really hard.
The density of data above 10 sets to conclude confidently, first of all, any specifics of what happens above 10 sets, just that it's better. And also, a lot of people were asking Brad about, well, what about north of 20? And he was just like, guys, we have like 4 studies total above 10 sets. Generally, they're all better than the studies below, but one of them is 21 sets and nothing else above that. So we actually don't know how high the volume cap goes.
Exactly. But also, in terms of dose-response relationship, you very much saw that each additional set yielded more.
Dose response. There's a dose response, okay. I'm learning something new. Look at Dr. Israel, how he's sitting there. He just looks like a pumpkin. He just looks like a penis pump. He looks like he was riding a huge. He was sucked in a penis pump. I wonder, if they have a human-sized penis pump, what would happen to you if you went in there? What would happen to your muscle? Well, it would draw a lot of blood in there for sure, right? Cause swelling and everything. You'd come out with swollen muscles. You wouldn't even have to work out anymore for that inflammatory response. You just go in a human penis pump, it sucks you for 10, 20 minutes, and bam, you just fucking instant muscles, bro. Look at him. He's swollen with like fluid in his muscles. That is really unhealthy. I have to tell you, man, it's crazy.
Growth, at least within the confines of what have been studied, up to about 15, 20 sets typically.
Comparing different studies.
Correct.
Not sets added week to week.
To take a drug just so you could hold a bunch of fluid in your muscle is gotta be insane.
Correct. We couldn't conclude that that's correct, even though I was on about the shit for no goddamn good reason. Informed by science, but guided by the spirit. That's how I like to describe myself. My psychiatrist disagrees. So at that point, we knew that, like, generally, if you look at the studies as a whole, if you were going to design a program for someone and they're like, I want growth, more at least from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 plus-ish, go higher and you'll probably see more growth for most people.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. There was definitely a positive relationship between.
Think about this. If you go higher, why would you see more growth? We know that going into a gym, that you lift and then there's an open window for protein synthesis, okay? We know that. But there's also a window for protein breakdown. It's a response for protein breakdown. So if you lift, the more you lift, the more protein you break down. Therefore, that must mean you must compensate with more protein because protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? That's why people are never building muscles in the gym. To build real muscle, you have to be in an anabolic growth state. In other words, protein can't be breaking down, even if there is a window there for breakdown, but there's nothing to break down because it'll use the resources that you're eating in your body. You understand me? So it won't break down any protein because there's a constant, you are in a positive nitrogen balance. So you'll constantly be building. Every time you come to the gym, you'll still be building mass. You'll be building muscle. See what I mean? But now glycogen, the same thing. Now, if you're eating glycogen, carbohydrates all day, you can be building these sarcoplasmic muscles. You do them before and after, and you keep loading them, and you'll get massive fast, like an open bodybuilder as well, because it's an energy source. You're still burning energy in the gym. Two things you're burning: energy, and you're burning protein. You're burning out proteins. So the energy source, you keep replenishing it. You come in all the time full, like you being in an anabolic growth state. The same way with protein, the same way applies with this carbohydrate, glycogen loading. And you'll get super massive. Now, think about it. If you combine the two together, see what I mean? If you combine the carbohydrate, this complex carbohydrate, with the protein, and now there's nothing to break down. See what I mean? What will happen? None of you are doing that because you're eating your shitty little meals before you go to the gym, you work out, and then you go, oh, there's a window for protein synthesis. But you forgot that there's a window for breakdown. If you can cancel out the breakdown, you can always build muscle. You'll always be in a growth state. That's why muscle is built in a short run. Success is short. But if you want to take years and years to try to conquer that because you want to eat a bagel after you work out, or you ate your Cocoa Puffs before you went to the gym, okay, good luck with that. You understand me? That is where all you people are so fucking out to lunch. You have no clue what bodybuilding or lifting or building muscle is all about.
How much volume you did and how much hypertrophy you saw. Importantly, in these studies, sets were taken to failure typically. So if you're taking a lot of submaximal sets, you may or may not see the same relationship. You may actually benefit from higher volumes. So that's a consideration.
He says that 52 sets is best for building muscle. Where's his muscle? I don't see anything there. If this is the key to success, then everybody would be doing it. These so-called sets. And I see a lot of people doing sets, and I haven't seen any growth. The only time I ever seen growth is where people are actually piling on the food. Why do you think they say I'm going for a bulk diet? Then they go on going for a cut diet. I'm cutting dieting or whatever. Or I'm bulk dieting or dirty bulking. I'm clean bulking. Why do they have to say that? Because ain't no set gonna build them shit. Not even sarcoplasmic and definitely not protein or myofibrillar growth. This is ridiculous. Garbage.
Right.
Most volume studies.
Because submaximal sets both do not cause as much stimulus per set linearly and cause significantly less fatigue. So it's kind of like if you're less fatigued and you need more volume, maybe you can do 25.
This is so dumb. This is shit to sell to poor people that can't build their bodies because they don't have any money. So they're gonna convince you that you're gonna do a set because they know you're eating a slave diet. That slave food is going to be uptaken into your muscles as sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, artificial muscle growth, and you'll get a huge inflammatory response too. Think about it. If you do 52 sets, like this guy says, you're going to get shitload of inflammation just like being in a human condom, sucking the shit out of you. Like a penis pump. When they stick their penis in a pump, what does it do? It sucks it for like what, 10 minutes or something in there, and then it gets really swollen. It's huge and swole. Yeah, but what happens after the swelling goes down? It goes back to its original size. Yeah. See what I mean, man? It's crazy. I gotta keep up. I gotta keep up with inflaming my muscles. 52 sets. Yes. Yes. Yes, Dr. Zertel. Yes, and your friend there. It's new science. It's new? Fucking old science is new. Garbage.
30, etc. sets if they're actually submaximal.
Correct. You can recover from more sets given that each set is less fatiguing, and thus you can get more total stimulus sometimes.
But when people say recover from doing these sets, they mean because you've exhausted yourself. In other words, you've definitely exhausted to the point where you've definitely done a great job of accelerating aging. Yes, stress and accelerated aging, more of it. You've done a superb job doing that. Man, congratulations to all of you. You've got inflamed muscles. You've accelerated aging. This is wonderful, man. The job has been done. You've caused oxidative damage, hypoxia, and a bunch of other weird shit in your body by doing this crap. Wonderful. Yeah. Also, you've increased myogenic decline. You're shortening the satellite cell pool is shrinking. You're shrinking it. Yeah. This is even better. This is great, man. Yeah, keep continuing in this behavior. What's the benefits of exercise? Let me see. I fatigued and everything. I'm tired now. I have to recover, and I have to go back and do it again. Well, people say if cardio, I got to do cardio. You just did a lot of cardio, doing 52 sets. It's a hell of a lot of cardio, bro. Yeah, man.
So that was our understanding about 5 years ago. Now, since then, there's been multiple new studies looking into higher and higher volumes, with this most recent study by Ennis and colleagues looking at the peak volume, 52 sets a week.
Yo, that's a fucking deck of cards, baby.
That's
higher and higher volume. I told you before, if you go to my community section, there's a section in there. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, 6 weeks. Hold on, I'll look it up here. Give me a second. I don't know if it'll come up, but I'll try. Yeah, here it is. PubMed. Myofiber hypertrophy in response to 6 weeks of high volume resistance training is in trained young men is largely attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? Well, go mama Google. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Oops. Increasing the visual. Well, yeah, we know that. Hold on a second. Okay, this one keeps coming up. So it is basically ATP glycogen, creatine, phosphate, and water. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a kind of artificial muscle growth where muscles increase its size visually by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold, but it's not increasing the density of the muscle fibers. Oh, doesn't that suck, bro? Man, that really has to suck, eh? Shit.
52 sets a week.
Yo, that's a fucking deck of cards, baby. You know what you could do is have a deck of cards with you, and like for each fucking set you do, you lay out a card. Dude, that would be so demeaning because you'd be like, oh my god, I have to get through how many sets this week?
We can roleplay. You're a hypertrophy stripper, and I'll just throw the cards at you. Just make it rain.
As long as it's demeaning.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. I don't want to go any longer. It's bullshit, bro. More bullshit science, more bullshit stuff, bro. Bullshit, garbage. Like I said, if you're looking for a cosmetic look, then yeah, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. If you want temporary muscles where you always have to keep up the gains. My gains are going. It's not based on eating protein. I'll see you in the next one. So let's think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, helps the algorithm, broski. But I know people won't support the channel. They're not subscribing. There's so many people that watch, but they never subscribe because people are so selfish, man. They take information, you give them good information, they learn something, but they don't help you out because they're selfish and they're greedy. That's human nature, bro. See you in the next one. Ciao.